नमस्कार। गपशप जंक्शन में आपका स्वागत है। और आज मेरे साथ हैं मंजरी पाटिल। शी इज अ मैथ्स एक्सपर्ट, अ मैथ्स ट्यूटर एंड फाउंडर ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट मैथ सॉल्यूशंस, जो कि बेसिकली टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग और मैथ्स प्रॉम्प्ट्स और एड्स, टीचिंग एड्स मैं कहूंगी, इनको ये कॉन्सेप्ट मतलब शी डेवलप्स एक्चुअली। और बाकी जो बातें हैं हम मंजरी से करेंगे। और एक बात मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि मंजरी को मैं बहुत साल पहले से जानती हूँ। वी वर टुगेदर इन अ कंपनी लॉन्ग बैक, ऑलमोस्ट अगर आप कहें कि हम 20 साल से एक दूसरे को जानते हैं। और शी हैज रियली वर्क इन द फील्ड ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स टीचिंग, और बहुत अच्छा काम करा इन्होंने। तो आज हम इनसे बात करने वाले हैं। तो मंजरी, आपका स्वागत है। यू आर वेलकम टू दिस एपिसोड ऑफ गपशप जंक्शन। आगे की जो थोड़ी बहुत,
Thank you.
मैंने तो आपकी बहुत शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन दी। आई वुड लाइक यू टू टेल योरसेल्फ a little bit more.
Actually, I am an educator for mathematics, but in my heart, I am a teacher. Because when I see the little ones and their eyes and their questions about mathematics, so then it initiated me to work on different approaches of teaching the subject and the concepts. And then my concern was constantly how to help those who are looking with lot of questions and lot of doubts in mind. So then I started working on my teaching practices, classroom approaches and all, and that helped me to develop some teaching aids, and then I came up with some activities and all. So since last 25-30 years, I have been working on this. And in this go, I have developed some teaching aids, some activities. And yes, I have conducted a lot of workshops for teachers all across the country with my box of teaching aids, which many teachers call as a magic box. So
Okay.
yeah, I have developed some teaching aids and activities, and then I try to give it to the teachers and the students so that everyone learns mathematics with interest and understanding. So that has been my concern always.
अच्छा, कैसे ये जर्नी शुरू हुई? यू स्टार्टेड एज अ, आई मीन, सम टीचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट, और यू स्टार्टेड ऑन योर ओन?
Yes. I was working as a teacher, and like to be a teacher is really a big responsibility that we
Right.
all must understand, and I think many of us understand that.
Right.
When like there were questions like in class 10, one of the girl came up and said, ma'am, what you are teaching, surface area, volume, and then volume of a cube and cylinder and all those things, it's okay. But I don't know what, when you say edge, what is an edge of a shape? So
Okay.
such doubts, such questions really sometimes gave me a shock, a surprise, and worry also. Then I was thinking, you never know where their doubts will lie, or what is it that they don't understand is different from child to child. So then I started working on all those things, and slowly it became a bank of activities and teaching aids. So for a teacher, it's very, very important to be conscious,
Right.
consciously working on your every class. You just have to be very alert, observe their eyes, and of course, a free environment in the class to ask questions. I always say that pin drop silence in the class is not a healthy class. Teachers say no talking, I don't want any noise. But in maths periods, mathematical noises are always a sign of good learning. So if children ask questions, they talk with each other, they talk with the teacher. So mathematical discussion, mathematical talk is actually a good sign of a good class. And it's like it's always most of the times it's the teacher who talks.
Right.
And then it's the teacher only who goes in the staff room and feels frustrated कि आज तो चिल्ला चिल्ला के गला गया, आज तो इतनी बार पढ़ाया फिर भी बच्चे मिस्टेक करते हैं. पर ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. हमने ये सीखना चाहिए कि बच्चे बोले मैथमेटिक्स.
अच्छा.
Because when children talk, you come to know how much they have understood. And what is it that you need to teach. Many times it also can happen that a class knows something, but still we keep on teaching that. And we skip that which they don't know. So I think if we look at it, how to talk and what to talk in class, that itself is a very helpful thing for the teachers and the students as well.
पर मुझे लगता है शायद अगर क्लास को जो टीचर्स कहते हैं कि कीप क्वाइट या समथिंग, आई थिंक वो उनका शायद एक ये भी कंसर्न होता होगा कि इट इज इजी टू मैनेज, बिकॉज अंडर दैट सर्कमस्टांसेस वो अपना जो प्लान करके आती है वो दे जस्ट शेयर एंड कम आउट. तो वो एक हेल्दी क्लास नहीं हुई.
Explanation of the concept is the soul of the class. Right. So like today also when we discuss some activities or games, I do not intend to tell that you can replace your explanation with these activities. No. Explanation in a disciplined environment is soul of the class. Right. So once you explain your concept, suppose it's a 35 minutes class, you may explain the basic concept or whatever you have planned for that day in 20 minutes or so. After your explanation, questioning, interaction should happen. Between the children and the teacher. That tells how much they have understood and what she needs to explain more. So I mean that discussion, that phase. Every class has phases, like introductory phase, then you explain, then you interact with them, then you ask questions, or you do some activities with them. So in that interactive phase, should be planned and it should be conducted in the class.
Maths teaching has, different kinds of challenges for a teacher. Though every subject has challenges, maths के कुछ अलग ही होते हैं challenges. और complex concepts भी बहुत होते हैं, बहुत सारे आप imagine भी नहीं कर सकते actually. जिस age में आप बच्चों को वो concepts कराते हैं, they are unable to imagine actual applications. तो ये चीजें कैसे, how do you handle these things? Because जो चीजें आप इमेजिन नहीं कर सकते उसको समझाना एंड देन उनकी एप्लीकेशन समझाना लाइफ में, these are very difficult things for a maths teacher.
I will classify the students, school students, in 2 levels here. Like up to class 8, class 9, they need some support for visualization, imagination. Right. So up to class 8 or 9, we should try and make the explanation of basic concepts at least with concrete objects or activities or some game or some story to support your explanation. But after class 8, 9, students have to think about the abstract concept, the abstract topics. And the topics also become abstract, like trigonometry. You cannot play and teach trigonometry.
Right.
So there are some logarithms. It is an abstract topic. So when you take children from abstract to concrete, teachers also should know how to take them from concrete to abstract.
How to take, I would like you to
ultimately, if you see, mathematics in itself is not a concrete or a subject which is like there are so many concepts. Right. Like a point, if you say the basic concept of point, it has no size and shape, and you cannot draw it. It's an abstract concept. So what Euclid said, that you cannot see a point with naked eyes. You can't draw it on the board or on paper. But what we do is we put a dot on the board and say that this is a point. There we are breaking the abstractness of the subject.
Okay.
For the sake of understanding. Otherwise, a child will not understand what the point is. If I say that point is something which has no size and shape and we cannot show it on the board, then how is the child of class 3 or 4 going to understand that? So what we do and what we should do is break that abstractness and mark a point on the board and show them that this is a point and this is the way to name it. Now, when it comes to point, if point is has no size and shape, a line segment is collection of points. So that's also so sharp that you can't see it. But then how is my child going to learn that? So again, we break that abstractness and we draw a line segment and a line, and then we draw a triangle and we draw a circle. So unknowingly or knowingly, we are breaking the abstractness of the subject and bringing it to concrete. Yes. So now this abstractness you cannot discuss up to class 8 or 9. Children are not going to understand that. But when they go beyond class 9, teachers must discuss all this with the students. And the subject is like this, it proceeds, and the subject in itself is really beautiful, meaningful, and logical. It's not a subject which is just abstract and out of touch of real life. It is very much in real life. Now, I would say after class 9 or 10, when children are moving slowly towards higher mathematics, we should also tell them that your research studies, like if you see in science, there is every day one research study done. Coffee is good for health. Then another day they say coffee is not good for health. Then they say groundnut oil should be eaten for taken for heart. Then after some days they say mix up the oils and all. So scientific researches are there in the news and everywhere around us. Mathematical researches are not that common.
Right.
You don't see newspapers with some research done in mathematics very frequently. It is done, but the number is less compared to science. But then what we need to tell all these class 9 up students is no scientific study or research is possible without mathematics. All these studies have mathematics as their base. So if you see your smartphones or your very sleek TVs, right? So you see the product, the smartphone you see, the TV you see, and you feel that it is a technological invention, it is a scientific invention. But at the base of it is all mathematics.
Mathematics, right.
So children, once you discuss with grown-up children, they understand that. Like if you see the design of an aircraft, now what study the pilots go through, what are the pilots made to study, what kind of angles, radian also comes, gradient comes, slope comes, inclination comes, all those mathematical concepts even a pilot needs. So it is, mathematics is very much in real use. So what I'm saying is up to class 8, you take it to say bus tickets, your electricity bills, your telephone bills, your height, then weight, and then width of the river, right, around you. After class 9, slowly you discuss and relate the topics with these things so that children
you did
understand.
it your maths, actually, how maths is important in life.
And it is a subject, without that subject, your research studies are not possible. They are not possible. Even your biology researches, size of bacteria or whatever it is.
Even history, archaeology,
yes.
There is
and
no
if they
branch
don't
without
know
maths.
the exponents, right? 10 to the power minus 9 and 10 to the power 15, very big sizes and very small sizes. So you need all these concepts.
Right. So how did
So
you
I
come up
feel
with
all teachers should learn and update themselves about all
Right,
this.
very true. Actually, teaching is almost like software engineers. You have to update on a daily basis.
Yes, one has to update. Yes.
Acha, Manjini, how did you come up with the idea of using props to explain difficult maths concept to your students? Because generally, अब हमने देखा है कि teaching aids market में ready-made आ जाती हैं. When you started, they were not available. You designed on your own. So how did it come? मतलब क्या एक ऐसा trigger था, कोई ऐसे? I am sure कि कुछ class ऐसी रही होगी, कोई concept ऐसा होगा जिसमें तुम्हें समझाने में मुश्किल हो रही होगी. That is why you came up with this idea.
हाँ, नहीं, एक्चुअली समझाने में मुश्किल से भी ज्यादा, अगर आप पूरा सपोज कोई पर्टिकुलर क्लास लेवल लो और उसके पूरे करिकुलम की सोचो, पूरा करिकुलम, इफ यू लिस्ट आउट द टॉपिक्स, व्हाट आई फाइंड इज बेसिक कंसेप्ट्स अगर आप सोचो तो ऑल नॉर्मल स्टूडेंट्स आर कैपेबल ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग बेसिक्स.
ओके, अच्छा.
Where the difference comes is in the capacity of application of those concepts. Right? So I as teacher must make an effort to help my class understand the basic concept. Now, what the problem comes is the teacher explains the concepts in a class and she or he thinks that the job is done. But I, as a child, may not understand this approach of explanation. So you need to make 2-3 approaches to explain a concept. Basic concept का जो explanation है. So that maximum number of students understand the basic concept. Now, if I start right at class 1 level, now 110 is 10 ones. Is an abstract concept for class 1 and many children just mug it up, isn't it? Now, if a teacher just simply takes 10 beads, like plastic beads like this, and makes a necklace of 10 beads, and this is 110, and then the teacher cuts that necklace and shows that now these are 10 beads. 110 is 10 ones. So it's simple also. It reduces the efforts of the teacher. Like you don't have to work very rigorously for this. And in fact, you give a thread and the beads, big beads to the children, tell them to make the necklace of 10 beads. It teaches them eye-hand coordination. It teaches them observation. And then once they are ready with a necklace, every child has one necklace. Then don't give scissors in their hand. Teacher goes with the scissor and cuts those necklaces and then shows them that 110 is 10 ones. Actually, the beads come out and let the children count that 110 is 10 ones. So actually, basic concepts are not difficult. How you approach them makes it difficult many times.
Right.
So teachers need to, we all need to plan all this and then conduct. And I am 100% sure if teachers work on something like this, they'll be very, very happy and satisfied about their class.
Yeah. Actually, it will give them very much satisfaction actually as a teacher और बच्चों को भी बहुत मजा आएगा.
Yes. And after basic concepts, it comes to the application and the use of those concepts. There, every child's capacity may differ. But it's okay. We don't want a society with all children excellent in mathematics and becoming mathematician. We need children or we need experts in all subjects, right? So if you clear their basic concepts and you create interest amongst them about mathematics, they will definitely go into the field of their choice.
Right. But the basic mathematics will always be there inside them. Whenever they need it, they can apply it.
And मुझे लगता है आजकल जो discussion होता है कि mathematics should be optional फिर एक डर क्रिएट हो जाता है बेसिक लेना है या स्टैंडर्ड लेना है। तो ये सब मतलब ये मैथमेटिक्स के अगेंस्ट जा रहा है, फोबिया बढ़ रहा है मैथ्स।
हाँ,
वो नहीं होना चाहिए,
नहीं होना चाहिए।
क्लास 10 तक तो सबके लिए कॉमन मैथमेटिक्स रखो,
बिल्कुल।
which is basic requirement for a good life. And then if they want to drop mathematics, let them drop mathematics after 10. पर वो 9th से जो डिस्कशन शुरू हो जाता है और बच्चों का और पेरेंट्स का ऐसे, ये टेस्ट में कम मार्क्स आ गए, चलो बेसिक ले लो, मैथ्स नहीं जमेगा, ऐसा नहीं होता है। तो that all these things are actually not supporting for healthy growth of mathematics.
And mathematics is needed actually in living a good
Very
life.
much needed. At least class 10, all children must learn mathematics. See, you select a field which does not need mathematics. It's a challenge from my side. You do not have any field where mathematics is not needed. In all the fields, even in the field of literature, you need mathematics. So ऐसा कोई नहीं है जहाँ basic mathematics I'm talking about. I'm not talking of integration and differentiation, 11th, 12th.
The basic maths, the 10th class.
Basic concept, basic mathematics. It is required for everyone. So why to run away from it?
Right. What are common misconceptions or challenges students face when learning maths? जो तुम्हारा experience रहा है?
Yeah, actually these challenges, I would say, comes in terms of application of the concepts. And challenges are also for many students, the challenges are they feel that I have to mug it up, I have to by heart multiplication tables if I look at lower class level. Then middle class level, if I see, then they say I have to calculate so much, I have to add and multiply, and there I go wrong. And then integers, negative and positive. Then higher class level, again factorization becomes trouble. Basically, I again feel that these difficult topics or difficult approaches are created because of various reasons. So like we cannot just pinpoint at one reason, this is the reason children are finding this topic difficult. One of the reason could be the day teacher introduced the topic, maybe I am absent in the class, or maybe I am not well and my attention was not there in the class, or maybe there was some family function and I could not revise or practice that topic. Or then I'm fed up with mechanical practice, write and do, solve the questions, and I just got fed up, and therefore I used a calculator and calculated and wrote the answers. Okay. So there are various factors affecting and creating that difficulty for a child. So if I look at it, many times we find that children are not interested in working on that. So once if they start working, the difficulty, interest is created and difficulty goes away. So like if I see multiplication tables, class 3, 4, 5, many parents, teachers and even students say tables by heart nahi hote hain. So tables by heart mechanically karne se nahi hote hain. Play some games, create flashcards, like a teacher can have 2 boxes, one box with answers, another box with chits with multiplication questions like 7 into 8, 5 into 4, and 5 into 4 is 20. The chit of 20 is in the other box. So children pick up chits and they search their partners. So like this, they'll work also, like 7 8s are 56. So where is my partner? 56. So they search. And then they say, no, I'm 54, 56 is that side. So that way they have some fun, which develops interest in multiplication, and I do a lot of multiplication mentally. So that these are some approaches which can help Yeah, mechanical practice. See, mathematics needs practice.
No doubt
There
about
is no doubt about
that.
it. There is absolutely no doubt that it is a subject which needs practice, and a regular practice, I would say. So that regular practice shouldn't be only do the sums, write and solve, write and solve. Sometimes flashcards, sometimes a board game, sometimes taking them on ground to measure the area of the ground, or you draw a field and measure the area of the field. So practice can be planned in different ways. Like suppose I am in area of a rectangle or a square, whatever it is. Children bring newspaper sheet. So I tell them find area of this newspaper sheet. So they measure with scale, and then tell them to fold it in half. Now find the area. So multiply by 2, you get the bigger area. Again fold in half. So like these activities, you can do them in groups, or individually also children can do. That will create interest for the children, and they will practice also. So some amount of practice is needed, and that will definitely help in removing the difficulties for the children.
Very interesting, Manjari, कि applications के लिए you need, I mean, practice के साथ it has to be in an interesting way, not the mechanical practice. अच्छा, एक चीज जो आजकल बच्चों में है, maths anxiety is a common issue among students. So how do you?
Very common.
मेरे को लगता है ये जो आपने अभी जो बताया कि teaching in such an interesting way, I think this will little bit help in maths anxiety.
Yes, it will help in reducing the anxiety level. Also, regular discussions with the children. Like I as a child, I'm like a teacher knows who are children who get panic attacks. Yeah, there are children who cry during test. When I was working in a school, one girl after school, she came and sat next to me and said, "Ma'am, मुझे घर नहीं जाना है." तो मैंने कहा क्यों नहीं जाना है? Then she said कि कल मैथ्स का पेपर है, तो मम्मी पापा मुझे खेलने नहीं जाने देंगे, छोटे भैया के साथ खेलने नहीं देंगे, घर में कोई बात नहीं करेंगे, और मुझे पढ़ने बिठा देंगे, तो मुझे घर ही नहीं जाना है। तो तो ये सब चीजें आगे जाके मैथ्स एंजाइटी, फोबिया में चेंज हो जाती है। तो अगर हम ये नहीं करें, और इससे तो रेगुलर प्रैक्टिस बच्चों को, मतलब रोज थोड़े डिसिप्लिन से, थोड़ा एक 15 मिनट 20 मिनट छोटे क्लासेस में है, तब बैठ के, और बहुत सिंपल है, बैठ के लिखना ही जरूरी नहीं है। समझो डिनर टेबल है, हम 4 लोग हैं, बेटा हर एक जन अगर 3 रोटी खाएगा तो मैं कितनी रोटियां बनाऊं? Very simple for the mother to ask. She need not know mathematics, right? So suppose आज हम पाव भाजी बनाने वाले हैं, one person will have 4 pav. So how, if there are 5 people for the dinner, how many pav should we buy? So all these things, dining table पे plates रखनी है, एक एक को 2-2 spoons चाहिए, 8 लोग हैं डिनर के लिए, तो कितने spoons ले? जाओ आप लगाओ वो स्पून्स। तो इससे क्या फ्रेंडली एनवायरनमेंट होगा, डर तो कहीं नहीं एग्जिस्ट करेगा। अगर घर में ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट होगा, पेरेंट्स बच्चों से, एंड आजकल सारे पेरेंट्स एजुकेटेड है, इनफैक्ट हाईली एजुकेटेड है, तो अगर वो थोड़ा टाइम निकाले, एक डिसिप्लिन बना ले कि डिनर टाइम पे हम बच्चों से फ्रेंडली वे में ये सब करवाएंगे, काम भी हो जाएगा, वो सीखेंगे भी, हंसते हंसते सीखेंगे, बातें करते करते सीखेंगे।
हाँ, बिल्कुल।